Okay, I think everything here is set up. Hi everyone, this is this is Skullblanca Schertigl, and I am here with the very first trial of Sourcecast Live. And I think I'm the only one watching right now, but anyway. Right now I am sending the link to everyone so that they can see what's going on. I really want for everyone to watch this. If you guys have any questions, then please feel free to ask them in the comments on this video. And yeah, I think that pretty much does it. So now I'm just going to wait patiently for you guys to show up. For anyone who's listening to this later than now, I am currently the only one uh, on this uh, page. So right now I'm just waiting for people to show up. So if I go silent for a few minutes, then don't worry. It's just me waiting for people to show up. Yep, just waiting for people to show up now. And if you guys could tell me who you are in the comments, then I would be very grateful for that. So, and you have me for the next hour and a half. So if you have any questions, fire away. And of course, check back next Friday, about 8 hours from now, um, uh, in comparison to the current time, for the first real special episode of Sourcecast. There will be a ton of guest stars there, so that's something definitely to look forward to. Oh, and hello, Mimi. There's going to be about a 30-second delay between when I talk and when you'll be able to hear my voice. But yeah, but I see you and I acknowledge you, so hello, Mimi. Maybe closer to a minute. Three people watching. It just turned to three people. That should tell you how much of a delay it is between me talking and you hearing my voice. But anyway, so as I was just telling White Hawk in the Lion King shout box, feel free to ask me any questions. Oh, four people now. and I'll be more than happy to talk. So yeah, this is exciting. This is going to be hopefully a new thing where Sourcecast happens live every so often, and with this new layout, it makes it really easy for other guest stars to show up as well. So that's definitely something you guys should look forward to in the future for Sourcecast. Hopefully, every single episode from now on will be a live episode. This just opens up the opportunities for so many different things. We can do live events for animated for animation as it happens. For example, at the Oscars in 9 days, Frozen is up for 2 awards. So who knows? Maybe someone could do a live episode where they commentate as the Oscars are happening, and then give their reactions to whichever films win. Stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of this, and I hope that you all keep watching this for future reference. So yeah, and hello White Hawk as well. I didn't forget you. I've just been talking so much. So yeah. And yeah, YouTube Live is pretty cool, Yukon. Although I'm sure you probably experienced this yourself at some point prior to today. I just experienced this for the very first time earlier this week. That's what gave me the idea to start doing Sourcecast using YouTube Live. This way, everyone can as many people as you want can watch Sourcecast, and you don't have to collaborate with Skype and all sorts of different secondary programs. You just need Google Plus Hangout and the guest hosts in there, and then just link everyone else to the YouTube page, and that's awesome. And Mimi, the other people who will be with me are, well, the biggest one is Anayu Kailestis. She doesn't really frequent the sources anymore. She was the founder of Sourcecast back in 2009, I think. So she was the very first Sourcecaster. She retired 2 years ago, and I managed to get her back for this special episode, since this is the very first live episode that we'll be putting out there. So Anaya Kailestis is one of them. Another big one is Jordan. If you guys frequent Balsa Source at all, you know who Jordan is. She's the one from Germany. Let's see. Gemini Hart, also known as Alto, I'm sorry, and Koak will be there as well. And I'm trying to think of who else. Skeets. Skeets is pretty much only on Balsa Source as far as I know. But those are the 4 guest stars, as well as me. And there may be 1 or 2 others. They're still in the talks for. So this is definitely going to be good. So yeah, that's something for you guys to look forward to. 5 people in the same episode. We haven't had that in a long, long time. And one of them is from Germany, one of them is from England, and so we're going to have a wide assortment of people from all over the world for this. And as I said before, the episode will be recorded and put out onto Animation Source at a later date, and complete with sound effects and music and uh, taking out editing. I'm sorry, and with a lot of editing, taking out errors that we make and stuff like that. But the live episode won't have any of that. It might be a little boring as opposed to the final thing, but still, it's live, and with live episodes, it's pretty awesome. 5 people watching as I speak. This is actually a little more than I thought I would get, to be honest. And Whitehawk, you asked if I was going to open up Frozen Source. That is true, but Steve has to create it first and then appoint me as staff member. He promised that he would, but he has not yet. I'm sure he will sometime soon because he has the French members bugging him about it as well. It is activated on the French side. It's not completely finished yet, but it is there. Hikate and Nico are working on it right now, so but I am in charge of the Frozen source for English, and I swear, after it is created for the English side, then I will be finishing it probably within a week of its creation, and then sending it off to Steve. And we should have a Frozen source before the DVD's released, hopefully. So that's awesome. And hello, Benita Rain. Not to say that this is completely my thing. I'm mostly just translating it from the original French with added stuff for the English side. I know that a bunch of people love to sing, "Do you want to build a snowman?" So I'm probably going to create some sort of section where we could just sing that the whole livelong day. Probably an extra shout box, just so that we can sing the songs from the film and not interfere with other people's conversations or role playing and stuff like that. Actually, if you guys like that idea, then just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to work that out because all of a sudden that sounds like a really good idea. And again, does anyone have more questions to ask me? And I'll be rotating through the Sourcecast logo as we go, so keep the lookout for that. It won't just be it just won't be Spirit. For example, here I've changed it to One from All Dogs Go to Heaven. So yeah. I actually kind of like the new YouTube update. It looks very streamlined to me. I'm not finding any real differences that they've made with the layout, so everything is still where it should be. It just looks a little more, I don't know, futuristic. I kind of like it. I know a bunch of people don't. I believe me, I actually do hate it most of the time when YouTube updates, but sometimes I just like it. So yeah. And no, I cannot guess who you are, Benita. Um, I would guess Sarabi Mirage, but that's probably. Oh no, no. I would guess Noodle Arms just for fun, or Hyde. No, you're Hyde. No, I'm done trying. Do you wanna build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you wanna build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Go away, Anna. Okay, bye. Wow, I just now finished the song and it just now started on the YouTube page. That's pretty awesome. Hearing me sing the whole song, then hearing it play back almost on cue. Shooter, did you watch Disaster Movie? Because that was by far the worst film I've ever seen. Silence. Seriously, if you guys have any questions at all, ask them or say a comment or say something for me to talk about. Come on, this is what the live episode is for, especially since I'm all alone right now. No guests, and it's just me right now. So yeah, just say something that you want me to talk about, and I'll be more than happy to talk about it. Keep it G-rated or at most PG. Okay, I mean this is a kid friendly website. So yeah. And Yukon, I did like Superhero Movie. That was probably the only spin-off of that that I actually liked. I thought it was pretty good for a parody. What movies am I looking forward to this year? Asks Bees Tube TM. Let me think. Um, well, I haven't seen the Lego movie yet. I'm definitely going to do that next week or maybe the week after, when I get paid. There's Equestria Girls too. I did not know that. Anyway, besides that, I'm going to see Frozen a few more times. What else is out? Probably the film I'm looking most forward to is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and I'm a huge Hunger Games fan, so it's something that I'm looking forward to. What else? Can't think of too much else right now for some reason. Um, How to Train Your Dragon 2, definitely, because I loved the first one, and I am in charge of the How to Train Your Dragon source, so that should show how much I love the movie. So okay, and going on a tangent here, Sana M, I'm sorry, I where you talked. Anyway, you asked what the Animation Source Choice Awards are. Um, well, long long answer short, the Animation Source Choice Awards are like the Oscars, except it's the Animation Source members who vote on the winners, and the nominees are only animated films. So each year, Animation Source has this awards show where we honor the best in animation from the previous year. So this year's Animation Source Choice Awards honored last year's films, and Frozen was the winner in 7 categories. And that's pretty much it. The reason people are so confused by this is because we also had the Animation Source Awards, which lasted for a few years, and honestly, I absolutely hated it because it was nothing more than a popularity contest. Who's the most popular? Blah, 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 blah. So I didn't like it at all. It was basically who draws the best on the sources, or who's the best member on the shoutbox, who gives the most insightful messages on the forums. It was all a popularity contest. There's no way that you could take bias out of it. So I was not a fan of that. So the instant I got put in charge of the awards for the website, I stopped the Animation Source Awards and started the Choice Awards instead, which pretty much makes it that it's not a popularity contest. People have, for the most part, just chosen whichever films they thought were the best, not necessarily the ones that they liked the most. This past year, for example, the winner of fan favorite was Frozen, but in the past it has gone to films that people thought were good, but that they liked the most, but weren't the best. So, for example, last year Brave won Best Picture because people thought it was the best film, but Wreck-It Ralph won Fan Favorite because everyone loved that one more. So that's the long story short for the Animation Source Choice Awards. I'd be more than happy to provide a link so that you can learn more. If you have any more questions, of course, you could just PM me. So yeah. Oh, and Mimi, if you think the Mockingjay being split up into two parts is screwy, just think of The Hobbit. You know, it was originally two films. That alone was bad. Now it's three films, and there's a rumor going around that they're going to split the third film into two. Here's how it's going to work: The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. The Hobbit, There and Back Again, Part 1. The Hobbit, There and Back Again, Part 2A. The Hobbit, There and Back Again, Part 2AI. The Hobbit, There and Back Again, Part 2AII. The Hobbit, There and Back Again, Part 2ABI, etc. So they're just going to keep splitting that film into newer and newer films, I swear. That's just my opinion, of course, and I don't believe that at all, but it's still fun to talk about, especially when people are actually there to listen. So, anything else you guys want me to talk about? A lot of people liked Brave, but they thought it wasn't the best film of the year. A bunch of people thought that Wreck-It Ralph was the best. So it was a huge upset, for example, at the Oscars when Brave won. Well, this year that can't happen because Monsters University wasn't nominated. Frozen was. Frozen is definitely going to win. I'm predicting that right now. Eating is good. Uh, 7 people watching right now. What sources do I like to be on the most? Obviously, Balsa Source, that's the one I'm on the most. But I also like the sources that I helped to create. For example, I do like The Princess and the Frog source. I think that the design isn't that good, and I didn't like the movie that much, but I do like being on there because it's just awesome seeing the very first source that I helped to create, and it's still there. Aside from that, I love How to Train Your Dragon source. I love Tangled source. What else? I do like the Lion King source and Spirit source as well. I just don't go on them that much because, well, they don't need my going on there. I Probably my favorite source that we have right now is Bambi's source, just because Bambi was my favorite film for a long, long time. Film overall, not just animated film. It was even better to me than The Lion King. Mimi asks, is My Little Pony source going to be a thing still? Yes, it is. I am working on that. A bunch of people have been working on that. What we're waiting on now is for the French side to finish theirs so we can translate it because we tried to do it on the English side and we had literally a dozen people working on it and every single one of them had a different idea of how to make it work. So in the end, almost all of them are gone anyway, and the few of us who are left have decided to let the French side finish first and then we'll just translate their stuff because they always seem to get it right when it comes to building sources. And Yukon, I'm sorry, I see your message, but I don't know. I would need to link you to the chat, and I cannot link you to the chat through YouTube comments because links are disabled for some reason. So yeah, but yeah, there are so many different sources that are in the works right now. In fact, as I understand it, Watership Down source is completely done. It only needs activated by Steep, and it is done otherwise. So we actually do have more sources coming. We got Watership Down that's completely done. We'll have Frozen source soon, and I guarantee that'll be done within a week of it um, becoming a thing. We have a few other sources in the works, and it's really, really awesome to see how many sources are still coming, even after it's been over a year since the last source came out, Tangled source. So it's great to see people actually still working on these unfinished sources for people to enjoy, especially the sources that I think people will just jump on, like My Little Pony source, and well, My Little Pony source is a big one, but Frozen source as well. Even Watership Down has a fairly large fan base on animation source. I noticed, so that's pretty cool. Why was Lion King's banner not put up? Well, with any time we put a banner up, even if it's just for a week, we need to clear it with Steep first, and that's for any source, even Balto and Spirit and the Lion King. So when the banner was chosen, um, basically the contest was just for fun. It wasn't ever supposed to be meant to put it up. It was just for fun. But and I am sorry for DD who won. I'm sorry, Daydreamer who won that. But anyway, let me think. Steep pretty much decided that the banner on Baltosaurus was Mighty Balto 1925's, and since she has a bad reputation on Baltosaurus, he wanted that gone as soon as possible. And with Spirit Source, I can't remember whose it was, but the person who made it had a bad reputation as well, so he was okay with that going away. But with the Lion King source, it was made by, let me just check. I have the link open right now. Well, it was designed by Wolf.250, who is really, really good, by the way. So Steve decided since that has, so that Wolf has a good reputation, isn't a troll, isn't a jerk, um, since they have a good reputation, and to be frank, the Lion King's banner is really, really pretty. I don't see anything wrong with what's wrong with how it is right now. Since it is all that, Steve decided it's better to just leave it as is. We could still change it for holidays and special events and stuff like that, but that's the permanent banner as is. So that's a long answer to a simple question, but I hope I answered it clearly. Okay, apparently White Hawk wants for me to sing. I don't sing, but I can. I don't know what I can do. I could probably sing something, but I can't guarantee what it'll be. So yeah. Anyway. You know, I'm going to guess that Benita is Blazetail. I have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing who Bonita is, and I am going to guess Blazetail. It's either Blazetail or Rainbow Cat or Paxus, and yeah. Up to 7 watching right now. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure that this is people coming and going. I think overall, maybe we've had 10 to 15 people who have watched, so that's awesome. Sing White Hawk wants for me to sing "Reach for the Light." Nah, no can do. And I'm sorry I'm quiet. I'm just frequenting the sources right now, trying to find someone who's asking a question. Basically, trying to get as many people in here as possible. Okay, and Blazetail just showed me a preview of a new Lion King design. So I'm Lion King source design. I am going to show that off right now, actually. So give me a minute to set that up. Going to select this. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. So this is the Lion King Sword's future design, probably, by Blazetail. Let's see. Um, you can pretty much see what it all looks like. So I'm going to leave the screen on this page for a little while, so I won't be able to see any comments that you have in the comments box. Probably for another few seconds, just so you guys can see it and then write your opinions on it in the comments section. So yeah, um, what do you guys think of this? This is what the possible future of the Lion King source looks like. Do you like this or the current design better? And I think that is good for now. I'm going to stop this and go back to the picture of the Sourcecast thing. I'm still saying Bonita is Blazetail. Saying reach for the light, huh? I'm going to put this to a vote. Who wants me to sing Reach for the Light? Seriously, I will do it if enough people say yes. God help me. And again, I am sorry that there's such a huge delay between when you say something and when you hear your voice. I promise you, I am responding as soon as I see your comments, but there is a time delay between when the microphone picks up my voice and it's routed through YouTube servers and whatnot and actually shows up on the live stream. There's a time delay for basically everything outside of television. That's just the way it is. And even television has a delay sometimes, especially at live events, just in case someone does something illegal or otherwise obscene, then the television cameras can cut it out before it is actually broadcast. I'm still waiting for more votes. Grab your sisters, grab your daughters, grab your wives, and grab your dogs if you have to, and get those votes in. In the meantime, does anyone else have anything you want me to do? Talk about, answer a question, anything but saying reach for the light? Anything at all? There, I whistled. That's close enough, right? And it was Let It Go, not Reach for the Light, but come on, Let It Go was the better song. Um, have I heard about the new Disney movie Descendants? No, I have not, and it wouldn't surprise me that I haven't if it's on Disney Channel. I don't have a TV, so I don't watch TV, so I don't keep up with TV events. What do we think about Sparkle characters on the sources? I absolutely hate them. I'm glad that Troll Berserker is getting rid of them all. Okay, Yukon, I just sent you a link somewhere. Try to find it. I think Benita has a really big lag because I stopped whistling long before you said stop whistling. Wow, I've been doing this for half an hour already, and you guys have got me for another hour, so woo! Somebody tell Blakey to stop dying. And now I'm either waiting for Yukon to show up or for someone else to ask me a question. Any question, really. It could be about animation source, could be about animation in general. Probably should keep it to animation though, or at least to kid-friendly movies. But anyway, so yeah, anything at all. The worst TV movie. Like I already said, I don't have a TV, so I really don't watch TV movies. The worst movie ever that I have seen is Disaster Movie. Probably the worst movie I've ever seen that was supposed to be like a really good movie is Shakespeare in Love, and I do not recommend it. It was really boring to me. And Yukon, you gotta find it. Yay. I'm sorry. I know that you already found it by now, but when I said that, you had not yet typed in your second comment. So, yeah, you understand, of course. So yeah, let's get Yukon in here as a guest. We already had Yukon on Sourcecast. Um, actually, we had him on Sourcecast. He did a commercial a while ago for Sourcecast. So if you guys don't know about commercials, then yeah, that was a while ago. Your favorite character from one of the movies on the sources, Bambi. Other than that, Toothless, because I just love dragons. Dragons are awesome. My top favorite mods, Troll Berserker and Blaze Tail, because they're the only ones who freaking do their job. Um, That's not true, but they're the only ones who consistently do their job. Others do their job every now and then, and I'm very grateful for when they do show up. Just wish they would show up a little more. Some of them have real life, and I understand that. And then there are others who just don't show up that much because they don't feel like it. I'm thinking of several mods offhand, but I'm not going to mention them by name. And then there are others who intentionally don't do their job. They don't want to be mods, and I say get rid of them because they don't want to be mods and they don't do their job. They don't deserve to be mods. Am I right? Deer and dragons, yeah. The deer eat the dragons, right? Or is that not how it works? Actually, Whitehawk, I am working on another site-wide contest. Remember the Frozen contest? That's done now, and we'll be announcing the winner live next Friday night on Sourcecast, and it'll be posted on Animation Source the next day, next Saturday. The Frozen contest was site-wide. Every single source member from every source could be involved. So the next thing will be another site-wide contest for something else. We'll be hinting at that next episode. I already have it all planned out. I hope that you guys look forward to that, and I hope that people participate. People really did participate this past time, and it was awesome. But yeah. Hi, Yukon.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, seems it worked.
Where's the little box that shows all the people talking? Do I have to go back onto the video? Or the stream?
You could, but you're going to have a really big time delay between when you hear my voice here and when you hear my voice there.
Well, I'll turn the volume down there.
Okay. But yeah, if you well, there's not really like this doesn't work like Skype. I have it set up so that like only whatever I want shows up on the video, and then you can see who it is that's actually in the conversation down on the lower right hand corner. So you see probably you and probably me. I don't know what it looks like on your end, but on my end I see your avatar on one side and then me with a miniature Sourcecast 2.0 banner on the right. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I understand that. I was just talking about like the beautiful people that are chatting in the chat box.
Yeah, you would have to go back to the YouTube page for that.
Well, I'm looking at them.
Okay. Yeah, because the YouTube page is independent of the chat, so which I love because this way we can have as many people as we want in here, and then people could separately just listen in over there.
All right. What now?
I don't know. Yukon, you sound like a My Little Pony reviewer I sometimes watch.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I think I've told a few people this, but I was actually supposed to be in My Little Pony. Sourcecast had interviewed one of the executive producers for the show, and during that interview, or during the negotiations for the interview itself never happened. They were saying that they were trying to get just normal fans to appear in the next season, and would I be interested? So I recorded my lines and sent them in using really high-tech equipment, you know, like my video camera with a really good mic, and I sent that in. Sadly, my scene got moved to Equestria Girls, and then they completely got rid of it altogether, so that never happened. But still, I did record my voice for that.
Oh, that's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, and now I'm in the running for Star Wars. We'll see how that works.
Oh, yeah.
And now, since I am not actually listening to the stream, I have no idea how much of a time delay is between when I talk and when they hear. Sorry, guys. But, hey,
I have no idea.
At least I'm not alone now. So how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Just pretty much watching the news about all the storms last night, storm damage and whatnot.
Well,
got to drive in that. That's never
Last
fun.
night was nothing. Let me see. 2 nights ago it snowed, like the night before last, and then yesterday morning the snow all melted, and by yesterday afternoon there was no, everything was dry. It snowed literally an inch and a half in an hour, and then it was all gone by
Oh
3
yeah,
o'clock.
yeah. I mean, like that happened a few weeks ago. It snowed here, and it came, and there was like a winter wonderland outside, and they're like, "Oh God, close the schools," and then by 7 a.m. in the morning, it's all gone, and it's like, what? What's the point?
Where in the U.S. do you live?
I live in Tennessee.
Ah, okay,
If you couldn't tell by my accent.
well, I'm from Texas, so just ask Skip how the schools work down there, and that's pretty much what I'm used to.
Right, right.
Floods in the UK. We got floods here too, just not where we live. We got a little bit of everything. We get snow in one part of the U.S. We get floods in other parts of the U.S. We
And
have different parts
tornadoes.
and tornadoes in others. Every single part of the U.S. has a different way that they close schools. Down in the South, they close because of a little bit of snow, but that's because they don't have a way of removing it. Up north, they close because of, I don't know, because it's just so cold that they cannot take care of it. Actually, up there they close school, believe it or not, because sometimes it gets too hot. But that's because they don't have air conditioning up there.
Hmm.
And then, of course, in the Midwest they close because of tornadoes and stuff. I'm positive Benita is Blazetail because never seen snow. Plus, it's probably summer in Australia, so um,
And everything's
actually,
upside down there. I was actually freaked out because the toilets do flush backwards in Australia. They actually do. I had a friend, and he was using Skype Mobile and was showing me Australia, and I'm like, no, wait, before you leave the house, you have to flush the toilet. And I just thought that was a joke. I didn't actually know they flushed backwards. And he goes, he flushes it, and I'm like, wait a minute, something seems wrong. And I went and actually flushed my own toilet, and I'm like, oh my god, it flushed backwards.
yeah, that was something for me to get used to in England. Another thing is that the showers, like, they're more like a mist than a waterfall.
Hmm.
In England anyway. Like you turn on the shower and it does come down, but it's a heavy mist, not the showers that we're used to here. So
Right,
yeah,
where you just get absolutely drenched. Then again, that
yeah,
depends on your water pressure, shower head, all that stuff. But earlier you were talking about how um, that the delay in television's a little bit different. I actually have a delay in the TV in here that I can hear. Well, actually, no, it's the other way around. I hear stuff on this TV after I hear stuff on the TV in the living room. Don't ask me why I listen to both TVs. It's just kind of, it's America. I do what I want.
yeah,
I like to party. Um, but yeah, sometimes in live TV they don't catch things. Won't go
yeah.
into specific examples. Super Bowl.
Well, if we're talking about 38, that was before they did the 4 second delay. At the time, it was I think half a second.
I don't think I've ever been slapped in the face so hard. I'm sitting there watching it, and my mom's like over my eyes, and I'm just like, "What's going on?"
Oh man.
As if I
Well,
was even paying attention in the first place.
it was because of that they implemented the 4 second delay. Actually, it
Good
did come in
idea.
handy for the Oscars 2 years ago. Melissa Leo won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and she yelled an expletive that they aren't supposed to show on TV. So they caught that just in time and bleeped it out on live TV. So, and then she realized she said it and she covered her mouth. It was the best reaction ever. You could tell she wasn't expecting to win. She was up there, she was stumbling over herself. She didn't even write a speech. So it was pretty awesome. So, um, yeah, but anyway.
Let's see. So, what are these beautiful people talking about?
Well, Nikon keeps ignoring me on the shop box. It's a pity. He's missing a great show. Of course, I don't know if he'd
Yeah.
understand it because he's Spanish, but he probably could. I mean, he understands English written well enough. He would probably understand English spoken well enough. Except that we got two Southerners in here.
I tell you what.
Let's see. Have you seen Frozen?
Have I seen Frozen? No.
Oh
I
man.
don't watch a lot of movies.
Well,
Oddly
I
enough,
guess.
being somebody from Animation Source, I don't watch a lot of movies.
Well, I of course recommend it. It's a great film. It really reminds you of the older Renaissance films and stuff like that. But Bees Tube Tiam asks, did anyone else want to smack Hans when he said that line to Anna? Um, Without spoiling it too much, I didn't want to slap him, but I did gasp. Literally, the whole theater gasped, and that was both times that I went to see it. Even once that was over a month after it was released, people were still absolutely floored by that plot twist. So yeah, I didn't want to slap him. I just like froze, like oh my goodness. And that's pretty much all I can say without giving away anything. And I think even that I've given away too much. 6 people watching right now. I could go to the video manager and see exactly how many people have watched this all together since the stream began.
Let's see, I can do that too. Let's see, sure.
Actually, no, I
Maybe
can't.
I have no idea. No, the
Uh,
statistics thing. I think you have to click statistics.
it looks like I can't because, yeah, I just can't. Oh, man. The Sourcecast YouTube page is so out of date. I have so many videos that aren't up anymore, and I just really need to go back and start fixing all that up. But, yeah, thanks for the spoiler, okay? Yeah, anyway. Um, but I've got to wait for the video to actually. I've got to wait for the stream to finish up and then be uploaded to YouTube, so that would be about an hour after it's done, in order for me to see exactly how many people watched while it was live.
Incorrect.
Anyway. Mimi left and came back really, really quick.
Hmm.
Skeets isn't on Balsa Source anymore. That's a pity. I was hoping maybe we could try out her equipment, make sure that she can get on this okay.
For all I know, she might be watching right now because it got linked in the shout box again. Somebody
Yeah,
said, "Hey, look at that."
yeah, it was put in the shout box, but I don't know if she was still there when it was put there. She might have left just as it was posted or something.
I have no idea. I could text her with the magic of cellular telecommunication.
I literally have like one person on all of Animation Source on my cell phone, and um,
Don't even get me started. uh,
I, I really try to separate my internet life from my real life, but my internet friends are my real friends. I'm not gonna deny that, but they're a different
oh yeah.
kind of friend. Like if they're my internet friend, I want to like limit communication to the internet. Of course, I'm saying a lot, but still.
Well, I mean, I figure if I can use my phone as an internet-capable device, why not? Nowadays,
I
phones
wish,
are more like computers. I remember,
yeah, and
honestly, when I was in middle school and younger, the smaller your phone was, the cooler it was. They were
now it's
getting
the bigger
smaller
your
and smaller
phone.
down to the point where you had like the Samsung Juke, which was no more than like an inch wide, and I'm just like, how do you even use this? But now it's
Yeah.
like you get these giant things like the Samsung Galaxy Note, and they're just like, how do you put that in your pocket?
How do you hold that with one hand so you can talk?
I
Yeah.
mean, you get used to it. I used to have a little tiny. I used to have the little phones, and they slid out and had the little QWERTY keyboard and stuff. I'm not wanting to turn this into a tech show, but then I move up to something like this giant. Well, what I thought when I got it, I was like, "Oh, this phone is humongous." Motorola Razr, and now it's just second nature. But when I got it, it was so gigantic. But yeah, they're getting bigger and bigger.
They are, and they are no longer phones; they're computers. Let's
They
admit it.
pretty much are.
They are.
I mean, now we have like the phones that are, or like the tablets now that can do phone stuff like texting and calling, and it's
Yeah.
just technology.
It's awesome. But then again, technology is what's allowing us to talk here and then have other people listen to us right now live.
Exactly.
Well, 30-second delay. Probably more like a minute now, I guess. But
Who
still,
knows?
I'm in favor of technology as it
Turn that down.
increases. I just wish I could keep up. Mimi is still in middle school. Well, I'm in college. I think I'm almost done with a bachelor program. I think so.
And I'm going to be going back to college this semester for business management.
Well, that's a good degree to get. I mean, job security at least.
Oh, yeah. Which is something you definitely need nowadays.
Yeah. Of course, nowadays you need to go to college for 4 years to get a degree.
To
That'll give
get
you
to do anything.
to get a minimum wage job, pretty much.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I agree. I mean, I'm all for colleges, but when it comes to you needing to go to college to get the bare minimum, then that's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was trying to put in an application, or I put in applications at all the dollar stores around here, which there's like 7 of them. And I never got a call back, and then I look, and it's like, oh, you need these degrees and stuff. And it's like, to work at the dollar store?
What the heck?
Another thing I don't understand is these places like these retail stores like Radio Shack and stuff, and it's like, oh, you need X amount of experience in retail. Where am I supposed to get the experience if every single place requires experience?
I can't get a job because I don't have experience because I don't have a job because I don't have experience because I don't have a job because I don't have
Yeah,
experience.
exactly. It's a vicious cycle.
Secondary school. Would secondary school be middle school or high school for the U.S.? I think that'd be high school.
I don't know.
I'm I'm not used to foreign
I ain't
programs.
used to you foreigners.
Oh, I love foreigners, but
Oh, I do
I
too, absolutely.
I'm learning French and Japanese, and I know German, so
I
I
know very
refuse.
broken German.
I do refuse to learn Spanish, though. I grew up with a bunch of Hispanic bullies who absolutely hated me because I was white. Yes, white racism is a thing. So I pretty much decided if they're just going to treat me like that, then I don't want anything to do with them.
Oh,
Just being,
getting edgy here in the Sourcecast live stream talking about racism. Ooh.
let's something else to talk about, shall we?
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Let's not. This is a kids show.
Let's see what's going on. Nothing. And I have a text message. I think Skeets will watch now. I said I was in the live stream. Yes, come and listen to to my to just listen, whatever. Send.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not auto-correcting. She now has a nickname, Triangle, because I tried to say Trisha, and it's a triangle.
So,
Yeah.
again, if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, any questions you have, just say it and expect a response at earliest a minute from now.
Somebody likes my accent. Why, thank you.
I can pretty much pull off just about any accent, which does help because, like, this is my normal talking voice right now is actually not my normal accent. Since I'm from the South, I've had to alter it just to be understandable. So,
Well, on the news they have an accent called Midwestern, which isn't actually spoken by anybody.
well, yeah.
But if you'll notice, the people in the news they speak in an accent that everybody can understand, and apparently it's called Midwestern.
Yeah, that's actually the industry standard for any kind of film or television now. Because that's just the one that most people can understand because it's a mixture of, it's somewhere in between East and West.
Hmm.
in the 40s they had the Mid-Atlantic accent. If you were to watch a 40s film, no one during the 40s talked like that, but the actors, and the actors only spoke like that because, well, in reality, they all just went to the same school, and at that school they taught them to speak with that kind of accent. So,
Well, geez, Bub, I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, just like that. Okay, we got a few questions here. How much time do you spend on sources a day? Well, not as much as I used to, I'll tell you that. I think I spend maybe 3 or 4 hours on animation source in general nowadays. When I was a mod, you know, 2 or 3 summers ago, I was on literally 15 hours a day doing mod work. I didn't have any time for the shout boxes or anything like that, so I spent 15 hours then, but 4 hours now, and I almost like the 15 hours over this, but still, that was a bit ridiculous. So,
Well, contrary to popular belief, I do not spend 9 hours a day just sitting in the shout box not saying anything. I just leave the tab open.
sound
But I'm
like
not staring at the shout box like, somebody love me.
that sounds exactly what Little Cinnamon used to do.
Oh my god.
See, well, I do that with Skype, but at least when I'm not on Skype, I put my status to away.
Yeah, I actually use my away status when I'm away. If I'm away, I'm away. But when I go away, that's when I'll come back to it and it's like, oh, you have 15 new messages. That's like, what? Why?
Well, when I'm on Skype, oh, that's Australian. No, that, huh.
If you try, you can't do it.
When I try, I can't do it. Um, when I'm away, I always leave my Skype open so that when somebody wants to send me a message, they can do it, and I get it the next day, maybe. But the point is that they can leave me a message at any time, and when they leave me that message, then I at least get it. As opposed to when I'm offline, completely signed out of Skype, and someone wants to send me a message, but they can't because we're never online at the same time. This way, at least, I'm able to get the message, and everything's good.
Hmm.
Anyway, so, hello, Rachel the Rebel. I'm glad you found this. Nikon still has me on ignore, so he is missing a really great show.
Has you on ignore?
He has me on ignore because I'm not going to go there, but he has me on ignore.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is Sourcecast, not TBS. Or wait, not TBS. I don't remember what the station is. We know drama. TNT, that's it.
If he wants to put me on ignore, then that's fine with me. If it avoids drama, especially, because I'm not a big fan of drama. So,
I'm not either.
so it's fine with me. I just feel a bit disappointed sometimes when I have stuff that I want to tell him or I want to share, and I legitly want for him to join in with something, and I'm on ignore, so he can't do that.
Oh well.
But let's
You
not
know,
go there either.
what can you do?
Yeah. Oh, White Hawk wants me to sing again. She just posted that on the. Well, she didn't just. That was 2 minutes ago. But she wants me to sing as posted on the Lion King shout box.
So that's where this is going on. I was sitting here wondering. I mean, that's like earlier when I was like, you sent the link, and I'm like, where did it go? Oh, the most obvious place. Right there.
Well, you cannot post links in the YouTube comments box.
Yeah, I
So,
know, but it was like, where would it be at? And I looked at Spirit Source, I looked at Skype, I looked everywhere. Then I'm like, wait a minute, there.
and I just rotated to a new banner. So if you guys have a banner that you want to submit to Sourcecast 2.0, please be sure to do it because we love as many graphics as we can get. We've had about 5 different people send us graphics over the years, and all of them have done great stuff. So yeah. And let's see. White Hawk wants me to sing. Well, I'll sing a song. Reindeer are better than people. Sven, don't you think that's true? Yeah, people will curse you and beat you and hate you. Every one of them's bad, except you. Ah, thanks, Betty. But people smell better than reindeers. Spin, don't you agree? No, Spin, don't you think that's right? That's once again true. I'll accept you. You got me. Let's call it a night. Good night. Don't let the frost bite. Bite. Okay, that's all the singing I'm going to do. I swear to God. I swear to Llama God. So yeah,
Although I've been around people who don't smell better than reindeer. Not
true.
gonna lie. If you go to Walmart 2 o'clock in the morning,
uh,
hey,
but then if you go to McDonald's at 2 o'clock in the morning, you get the best people who work there and during the night shift. I swear.
probably because they're either completely tired or just hopped up on something.
eh, let's sniff some French fries.
Yeah, quote unquote French fries. You know, they call my town Meth Minville for a reason.
Yeah, well,
Anyway, let's not talk about drugs. Wait, okay, technically. Now this is in all seriousness. You're not allowed to talk about anything illegal on the shout box. But technically speaking, since it's illegal in or legal in Colorado, can you talk about pot?
I would say no
Yeah, I
personally,
mean, I
but
would say, not that I'm like, oh yeah, who wants to, after school, let's go smoke beer and
well, you
whatnot.
know,
No, but
basically liquor is legal everywhere, but it's not an allowed topic because it's still you need to be 21 in order to drink it, and most people are nowhere close to that age. Same with pie, even where it is legal, you need to be 21. So,
true.
and personally, I'm just against any kind of adult topics whatsoever because, however much of a kid-friendly site it is, and not necessarily a kid's site, it is still a kid-friendly site. I really want for just anyone to show up and feel happy there, feel welcome,
Oh
and
yeah.
not have to worry about adult topics. Especially, if parents were to just walk by, would you rather see them actually talking about, My Little Pony, or about pot? Let's be
Well,
honest.
you see, that's the thing is like you have a lot of these helicopter parents. Like, well, whenever I first joined Animation Source back when I was 10, no, that's impossible. It couldn't be 10.
How long ago was it?
I don't
You
remember.
joined after I did, man. So
Well, I mean,
5
I
years
joined as
ago.
Yukon, but I'm back from before you even needed an account.
Oh yeah,
I'm back
well,
from way back then, and
at
then
the
I
very
left and then came back and
that would have had to be like 9 years ago, I guess.
okay, so yeah, 10 when I was 10. Um, I don't remember where I was going with that. Yeah, I remember my mom would be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she would sit and watch me talk in the shout box, and I can definitely understand that because that probably is a thing. Parents are
Yeah,
probably like, "Well, we want to see who you're talking to," and if people are in there like hashtag YOLO 420 blaze it up, they're probably gonna be like, you need to close that."
yeah. Um, and helicopter parents, as you call them. That's a very good phrase for them too. Um, they do exist, and rightfully so because you just cannot trust the internet. So
No, you can't.
so I don't blame them at all, and that's even more of a reason to keep talks to PG tops, and even then don't definitely keep some topics away at all costs.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
this is all, of course, my opinion. I'm okay with people who think otherwise, but in the end, would you rather be known as, a fan site full of junkies or a fan site full of mature people who can keep normal conversations but still keep it appropriate for kids?
Well, I mean that's correct. I mean, like if you take for instance like a Chuck E. Cheese, people my age and older can go to a Chuck E. Cheese with their children, and there's not like artwork of like pornography on the walls and stuff like that. It's kid friendly. It's the same concept.
Yeah,
It's not
and who doesn't?
necessarily that it's only for children, but it's supposed to be child friendly. Let's see. So what now?
Yeah, and I think Chuck E. Cheese is a good analogy because who doesn't love Chuck E. Cheese? Let's be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. The only time I've ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese, was right before I was gonna have eye surgery. and the games and stuff is all fun, but I remember very distinctly we got the pizza, and it's like, this tastes like cardboard with cheese on it. But I don't know. I haven't been there in a while, and I'm not going to be like, hey, guys, my high school friends, hey, guys, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese.
No, no, of course not. But still, if you were to go there with, say, your neighbors with their 5-year-old kids, you could still go and not feel too out of place.
I mean, I would probably just play the arcade games and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
The playgrounds may be a little too small, but the arcade
Yeah, I wouldn't
games,
really go jump in the ball pit.
no, but you could go to the arcade games and no one would think twice. There's arcade games for people our age, mid-20s, or I guess lower 20s, I guess. Anyway.
19.
Oh. Oh.
19 and a half.
I thought you were way older than that.
No. No.
Okay, well, I'm 21 and a half. I'll be 22 in June.
Oh, old people.
Old people indeed.
God,
now,
bye, Rachel.
Now I feel even older. Thanks a lot, Yukon. Anyway, so, but yeah, I think we summarized that pretty well. And I know one of the biggest comments was by Fast as a Shark when the news was posted reminding people to keep things to an age-appropriate level, and he said he was against that, and he and a few other people, he didn't mention them, but, it's pretty obvious we know who he was talking about. But they were mentioning that, Balto is not a kid's film. Frankly, the producers were surprised that it got a G rating. So it's a very serious film, and so we should be allowed to talk about very serious topics. And my rebuttal to that was, it may not be a kid's film, but it's still a kid-friendly film. And let's be honest, how many adults would see that film and think, oh man, that looks like such a serious film, I'm going to go see it because it's so not a kid's film.
Oh man, that's so deep. Dogs.
That is the most not kid animated film I've ever seen. Now that would be Watership Down. No, Toy Story 3. If you ever want a not kid animated film, Toy Story 3.
Toy Story had to be like one of my most favorite movies when I was a kid. And because of that movie, I actually thought my toys came to life.
I don't think there was a kid who didn't. I mean,
yeah, and like the thing is my mom would mess with me and put them in different places because she knew I thought that. It was just, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, your mom.
My toys do come alive. Come to life. Hey, who is that?
Rachel?
No, Rachel's left.
Oh, Sana is, I think, Whitehawk. Kaiba the White Wolf? No. Hold on, I'll find out who it was.
I don't frequent like the other sources enough, honestly.
Oh,
I remember back in the day it was like just Balto source, then they brought Lion King source, and it was just like, why do you need that, you newfangled kids?
Yeah, that is like, Kaiba the White Wolf. How about that?
All right. Hello, Kaiba the White Wolf.
Anyway, but yeah, I did join 3 days before the character section came about, so I can honestly say I remember a time when that didn't exist, but I always consider myself to be the point between the old animation source and the new animation source. Like, before I joined, there was all this old stuff that people say, in the olden days this was awesome, and then after I joined, everything just went downhill. Some people say it's my fault because of stuff, but I still say it's just a bunch of bad coincidences. And really, I do kind of like the new animation source. I do love the fact that it's animation source and not Balto source with a few other random sites everywhere. Because now if people like a animated film, then they could just go to that respective source and not even know Balto source exists. I mean, what are the odds of that happening? But it's still possible.
It's just simply because most people have stuck around. That's where they go. But,
Well, I frequent Balto source the most because, frankly, I love Balto. I always have. And that's my reason for staying there. I know many people stay just because that's where they have always been.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember my mom first showed me Balto. She, like, picking her from school was like, oh, you need to see this movie. It's really cute. And I'm like, okay. Watched it. And I think for the next, 3 years, I would watch that movie at least twice a day.
I know, right?
I'd pull up a chair, like 2 feet from the big 36-inch tube TV, which big screen TV back then.
No offense, but no
Pop
wonder
it
you
in
needed
the
eye surgery.
well, no, that was not the eye surgery. I had a lazy eye.
Oh, okay.
But that was really cool because after I got eye surgery, I got to wear like sunglasses to school, and everybody's like, "Where do you get to wear sunglasses?" And it's like, "Cause I had surgery. I do what I
Yeah.
want." But yeah, I'd pull up a chair, watch it like twice a day. It was the greatest thing ever. And then I found Balto websites, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven."
Okay. Real quick, everyone. I can only keep this up for another 10 minutes before I've got to call it quits, and then not doing this again for another week. So,
I'll
but yeah,
totally come back for this though. This is really fun.
yeah. Although I already have all the guest stars lined up, so you won't be a guest star, but you can at least watch. And honestly, it was great to have you. Oh my goodness, not him. I hate
Who do
him.
we
Anyway,
hate?
uh,
Yeah.
not you.
I know.
The one person who's on top of me in
Uh-huh.
response. Anyway,
Say no more.
but anyway, so yeah, Baltosaurus has gotten me farther than I ever imagined, and that's one great thing that I love about this site that sets it apart from any other Balto fan site is how involved it is with the community and with honestly the people who helped to make the film. I mean, I've conducted two personal interviews with the director of the sequels, and that was, who how could that have possibly happened on a different website? That was just so awesome and amazing.
Oh, I know. There's a member that used to frequent, and he did an interview with Robbie Rist, who
Oh God,
was the
I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
Please stop right there.
he did an interview with that guy, and he's the voice of Star.
Yeah, he it kind of let it get to its head because he keeps talking about, I'm best friends with Robbie Rist. Don't you dare question my authority.
Hey, I'm
So,
not gonna go into that. I'm just not.
but I know who you're talking
He's a
about.
pretty good friend of mine. So hey,
But
you
I
have your First
do
Amendment.
First Amendment. I have a Second Amendment to talk about.
So do I.
Anyway, that's not a good picture, or that, or that. Hold on, let me
It's
find a
getting
different
edgy up in here.
picture.
Second Amendment. I don't have firearms behind me. No,
No,
it's not
not at
how I
all.
roll.
Sorry, guys. I know you're probably seeing a really weird screen right now, and
All I see is a green thing. It says Sourcecast.
I know I'm working on. Oh, maybe I shouldn't pick this one because that's Tailspin. My favorite 5 books. Man, that's a difficult question.
Have I even read 5 books?
I I do have favorite books, but I'm trying to think of my favorite book overall is definitely The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Let me think what else. I love The Hunger Games, and I love Aragon. The book, not the film. The film sucked. Don't see the film if you do, you'll die. Let's see. I used to have a ton of favorite books. I don't know. Maybe the novelization for Star Wars Episode 3.
I liked White Fang. It was a good book.
White Fang is that's a great story. I love all of Jack London's books.
Of course, I'm just, that guy. I'll read anything about woofs. Anything. And then there
Yeah.
was a book series that I stumbled upon when I was in middle school. The Among the Hidden series. I think that's what they call it. It's
Okay.
really interesting. It's about, it actually reminds me a lot of, like, Nazi Germany in a way because, no, it's called the Shadow Children series, not Among the Hidden. That's what the first book's called.
Well, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's really neat. It's like where you, like they did like a population control thing, and you can't have more than 2 children. And then the third children were called Shadow Children, and then they ran away and did things, and it was pretty cool. And the
Yeah.
population police were kind of like the Waffen SS.
So, I'm trying to think of what else I have read that I Like, I used to read a lot when I was a kid because we didn't have a TV or internet, so I spent most of my free time reading and writing. So I wrote my very first Balto fanfic when I was like 10. It sucked.
Oh man, yeah, your very first fanfic.
Yeah, I've
You
been
read a
working
bunch of
on
them, you're like, yeah,
rewriting
I
all
can
of them.
do this.
Yeah, I thought I was the best writer in the world, that I'd
Hmm.
get rich and famous off of writing Balto novelizations.
I'm gonna
Um,
be so popular.
that has
What do
changed,
you
of
mean it's
course.
bad?
But I do like, I did actually show one of my stories, the only one that's actually left on the site, the one I rewrote, to Bill Weinstein, and he said he was not joking at all that if it were possible, he would make that into the next Balto film
Hmm.
because he felt like it was such a well written story, and maybe the dialogue was cheesy here and there, but the story itself was good. So you know, that is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, aside from getting married, of course, is just writing something and then getting told by the person who made the material that you based it on that it is not only good, but he would adapt it if he had the chance, and that's pretty cool.
I mean, that actually, I mean, that does mean something.
Absolutely.
It does.
Uh, now, if only I could actually publish my book. I've written a completely original book. It's finished. I just need to find an agent now, and that's the hard part.
I wouldn't even know where to start. I wrote some
Well,
stories once and put them on DeviantArt, but then there were some things that happened and it completely just shot the plot of the whole thing. So I'm just like, go away.
I'm dead. Let me think. Pretty much after you've written a book, the best thing to do is to find an agent because they will get it published for you and they'll do it for free.
Right, right.
So that's what I'm working on. What I ended up doing was I went to Barnes and Noble and just I looked in the section of books that mine fall that's the same category as mine falls into, which would be like teen fantasy, teen science fiction, stuff like that. So then I just ripped out every book from the shelf, went to the back, checked the acknowledgments, and saw who the agents were for all those people.
Oh, there you
So
go. That's a good idea.
I came up with 15 agent potentials, and after Googling them, most of them work for agencies. So if they turn me down, then I could just look for someone else within that agency. So
Well, have
overall,
you
I think
started talking to anybody like that?
no. They always prefer that you send out a letter and then a self-addressed stamped envelope. So that's pretty much $1 a letter. So I'm waiting
Ooh.
for payday, and I'm only going to send out a batch of like 15 at a time. Uh, and plus, I need to write a query letter. And the number one rule of a query letter is it has to be absolutely perfect because if it's not, they'll notice that they'll assume that that is reflected in your writing, and they won't even consider you. And honestly, I don't blame them. So yeah,
Oh, well. I mean, if you're trying to get a book published, you had better write your letter correctly.
exactly.
I
Make
mean, it's just, duh.
it. So that's the long story short. So I'll begin working on that next month. My plan, hopefully, is to find an agent by June, and a book takes about a year to publish, so probably next summer is when it would actually get published. But it is done, and that was my goal as of right now, so that's pretty
Cool,
awesome.
cool.
I know we've gotten way off topic from animation stuff, so uh, since there's only like 3 minutes left, I'm going to give a final shout out and ask everyone if you have any last minute questions to just wait for next Friday because then you'll have the chance to ask them live again, but then it'll be to me and four other guest stars, including Jordan, and Anaya Kailestis, and Jaimin Hart, also known as Koak or Alto, and Skeets. So that's something for you guys to look forward to, I guess. And Yukon will be there, probably asking questions, I hope.
Yeah, I'll be in the background, just like, hey guys.
Oh, Blazetail wants your Skype.
I gave my Skype. I don't know my.
You
What
don't.
is my username?
I don't have you on Skype either, but we never really talked on Skype, so that didn't bother me.
Yeah, you do. You have me on Skype. I've got you right here.
Well, really?
There, boom.
Oh, I don't actually have you as a contact.
You might not want to pull that up on the screen. My status has an expletive in it. It's a Kurt Cobain quote.
It says 2015 Corvette.
What? Wow, that's old. That's
Yeah,
like
I told you.
That's like from a very long time.
I told you
ago.
I don't have you on my Skype.
But I have you. You're right there. You're
I know,
even
I have
online.
you, but there's a big question mark beside it.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm looking at you right now as if you have shared contact details with me.
Oh, there we go. It just shared. I don't know how it did. I just resent the contact request and automatically it just updated.
I don't understand.
Well, we're friends again, so yeah.
Well, I don't understand Skype.
That's fine. Like I said, I have this thing set up to only show off the Sourcecast logo, so that helps. And again, if you guys
good. I was gonna say don't pull that up because that's a Kurt Cobain quote.
I'm not going to. So yeah, again, if you guys have any Sourcecast banners you want us to show off during the live episode next week, send them in. And what am I going to have for dinner? I really don't know. Probably PB&J.
It's too early for dinner.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe not where they're from. Shooter Man might be.
It's like
the UK.
5:30 there. Well, in England, it's
5:30.
like 5:30. It's 6. They're 6 hours ahead. Greenwich Mean Time.
5:30, 6:30. Well, it's around dinner time there, but for dinner today, I might have PB&J. We'll see. And tomorrow I have a Pokemon tournament, so no lunch. Anyway.
What am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday. What do I do on Saturdays?
You're sleeping all day?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds nice.
I actually can't sleep in. Never been able to. I have like an internal clock, and even if I fall asleep at 3 o'clock, it's like, oh, nope, you're up 6:30.
Well, I guess this pretty much does it.
Look, a contact request.
That must be from Blazetail.
It is. From Straya.
Anime
Hello,
Writer
Land
Blaze.
Down Under.
Skype name, Anime Writer Blaze. Oh no, now a mod's contact information is all over. What's going to happen?
Oh, the humanity.
It's not even noon yet where I am, so yeah. But anyway, I guess that pretty much does it for this episode. Thanks for showing up, Yukon. You've been a great chatting partner.
Well, I mean, I figured it would be a lot better than just sitting here talking to a screen being 30 seconds behind.
Okay, well.
And it was fun. I've never actually talked to you, so hey.
Yeah, that's never happened, so that's
Well, anyway, yep, it was fun. And
it was indeed.
You beautiful people.
I
want to thank you beautiful people for all you've done over there typing your little beautiful precious fingers off.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to know, then this episode, or whatever you want to call it, will be up on the Sourcecast YouTube page within an hour after the stream ends. So if you want to just go back and re-listen to our wonderful voices, then you could just
I'm not going to do it.
Then you can refresh the page if you want. So yeah.
I'm not going to listen.
No, I rarely ever listen to Sourcecast outside of editing. I never listen to it because I hate my voice so much. So.
I do too, and I mean, I don't have a necessarily weird voice or anything, but I just don't want to listen to it.
Yeah. So.
Because I'm sitting there like, oh God, did I really say that? Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway.
Well, I think that about does it. I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Thanks everyone for listening in, and we'll see you next Friday.
Yeah. See you guys.